星光好选择今天的节目开场是不是很特别呢？因为立喆带大家来到多伦多喽，我们要一起参加多伦多国际电影节。你看到没？这里的排场真的有够大的，因为这整个多伦多最热闹的市中心，可是整个大封街哦，封起了将近有信义计划区这么大的一片，就是为了要举办这个国际电影节。这里通通都是电影村哦，里面有至少3家以上的剧院，而且不是一般的小戏院而已，是一整座的那种大戏院，将会在这里举办上百场的电影首映会，还有好多无数的跟大明星座谈的机会，带大家一起来逛逛多伦多国际电影节吧。
You know this guy. 7 feet and 400 pounds of ugly motherfucker. Infrared vision. Shoulder-mounted plasma cannon. The galaxy's most feared hunter. Until now. The Upgrade. The ultimate predator. A hybrid made from the collective DNA of the universe's most badass species. Lethal high-tech evolution created for one purpose.
Should I be worried?
11 feet, 700 pounds of solid terror. It can turn any opponent into a rag doll. Genetically altered, impenetrable, organic exoskeleton that will stop high-capacity rifle fire at close range. And it's not stopping until it's fucked up every worthy adversary under the stars. Not a predator, the predator.
交过来，看到这个身影，你绝对不陌生。这可是1987年由阿诺·施瓦辛格主演的《终极战士》，当年一举捧红了阿诺·施瓦辛格哦，而且也让这个足以跟异形匹敌的外星怪物在影迷心中留下深刻的印象。相隔30年，这一路大家都没有忘记他。这回推出最新的《终极战士掠夺者》，还找来亿万名导，也就是《钢铁人》第3集的导演亲自指导，来看看电影内容有什么精彩亮点。
Tell me about the mission. Did you see anything unusual?
Like an alien, you mean?
After 30 years of Predator movies, it's the right time to resurrect the franchise. And I'm blessed to have the opportunity to play in that sandbox.
It's an honor and a privilege to get to come back with Shane to reinvent this thing.
With Shane involved, because he's so knowledgeable, it's amazing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
We love growing this thing, trying to encompass in one movie all the genre things that we love.
This movie has everything you want. It's going to be exciting.
What's on the ship?
With Predator, there's another level of menace, of terror the Predator can take.
This is the scariest one. We're upgrading the Predator to a next level of deadliness.
The Upgrade is going to scare the mess out of people. It's just bigger and better and badder.
Hey, Taiwan. Hi.
Ni hao? Is that right?
ET today? Hey, hey.
It's old and it's new. We're back in time, babe. We're back in time.
We want to make a movie that the fans are going to love, and I think we did that. And every time we put a scene together, it was just a big collaboration.
And tell us the best reason to see The Predator, the new one.
For The Predator, the great special effects and the great humor.
It's the only movie in my life I've ever seen where Schwarzenegger looks scared. He looks out of his element and scared, and you go, "Oh, he's a human. He's a human," and that's the thing that was the real like hook for me. Yeah.
Question I would like to ask you: when you're scared, what's your face when you're scared?
Well, my face when I'm scared is this. I don't open my eyes when I'm scared. Once I see it, I just don't want to see it, and then I won't even know what happened. Like if he cuts me in half, rips a leg off, I can just, I don't know why my mouth's open. That feels like it makes me more vulnerable, but that's the face, yeah.
Is it the face when you see Predator?
Yeah, that's the face.
Someone like Shane Black gives you a call to make a film, I'd sweep the floors for him, so.
Show us a face when you see Predator.
The face that I make when I see Predator right here?
Yes.
That's probably how tall Predator is as well, too. So this is my face, literally. If this was a Predator standing right here, I'd be like that. I'd be gone. I'm not even making faces. Look how tall he is. Look at this. It's ridiculous. And he's got dreads. And look how well kempt these dreads are. Did you see that? The guy obviously cares.
The predators have been coming, these aliens, to Earth and hunting us here and there for a while, but now people have noticed. It's now not a secret so much because the government knows what's coming now. They're familiar with predators. They've even established a defense agency dedicated solely to protecting us from and preparing us for a predator incursion, an incident. And this movie is about that incident. They got fractured somehow, something broke, and for whatever reason they found each other. And I think it's interesting that these sort of unbelievable combat skills, but somehow some kind of attitude problem, a sort of dirty dozen, have come together in this way. She's not daunted by much, and the fact is she'll walk through fire if something interests her on the other side of it. So when she sees something that she hasn't studied yet, or that gets her brain going, that's what intrigues and causes her to extend to physical heights and, big leaps of courage that most people, let alone, a scientist, could never make. To me, it's special because there's a mask that's frickin' cool, and then you take off the mask and it's even cooler. It's a creature that we recognize, that walks like us, that understands us, that has the same kinds of primitive impulses as a human being, but it's clearly not from here. Let's all make them somehow tie together, not stretch it so that they don't lose the spark of what was so great about the original Predator, which was that human quality, which was that as deadly as it wasn't just a wild animal. It had an intelligence and a cunning, and it could look at you and see what you were afraid of and see how to stop and catch you. We're trying to encompass in one movie all the kinds of genre things that we loved, from Johnny Quest all the way through Alien to, Steven Spielberg, and never forgetting the realism and the fact that we have an R rating, so yes, heads come off, man. These predators are gonna slice and dice. They're expert hunters. They do this, no one knows why exactly. We take a stab at it in this movie, explaining a little bit more, but the idea is that it's sort of a vacation for them. For some of us, we would go fishing or hunting. For them, they travel to another world and they put their life on the line. It's kind of like a fear factor for them. These soldiers or hunters or wherever they train, they've got blades that attach to their wrists. They've got infrared cannons that are targeted to their head movements and eye movements that fire plasma blasts. It can take out the side of a mountain. And yet they always seem to want to play fair somehow. They always want to find an opponent worthy of their skill.
I think what makes it iconic is that it's of a human figure, spatially. It's reptile. It mimics us. It's more powerful. It's more methodic. It's more like a stealth warrior. And I think it's overpowering. It's like an animal. It's more predatorial in the sense of just like a cat hunting. McKenna's journey becomes from simply not being a father, not being responsible, being estranged from his wife, to becoming a leader and becoming a father again, and having a sense of purpose. There's a code, there's a philosophy to being a soldier, and I think in turn that also makes them get on board when they actually know the reality of the situation of what's about to happen to Rory. So there's a distinctive emotional charge that I think they all share. Shane usually makes stories about characters about depth and who are all struggling with something in their own sort of their own internal way. And I think a lot of McKenna's unhappiness comes from being estranged from his son. And just the primitive sensibility of it all, that you mess with my kid, that's something you don't do. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. We're bringing in, current issues to this film, that their planet is cooling. They need our planet because they run at such a high rate. And so now they're also evolving. It's, I think right out of the gate, this story is going to catch people by surprise. The torso was as big as my body. From the torso to the head was as big as I was. Yeah, it's amazing pieces of artwork. Just these sculptures and these robotics, and it's incredible. You're going to be blown away. You're just going to be spiked over the head with surprise. It's just, everything's new, everything's fresh. Hats off to Arnold and all that, and the other characters, but we're not playing them. We're playing our own thing. We're doing our own story, and it's exciting for me.
It was working with Shane that made it really appealing to me. And I sat down with Shane, and I just think that he's one of the best directors and writers. I mean, I have loved his movies for so long, and I think that he does something that's really interesting and really creative and very new. And he's always trying to surprise the audience, even if it's just with a line or something that just feels very real that we wouldn't normally see on camera. Dr. Casey Brackett is the top in her field. She is an evolutionary biologist. She is essentially a scientist who researches how creatures change and adapt. And she has been in the CIA and the government's basically list of top people to go to if there was ever contact with intelligent life forms. And so this is something she's been waiting for her entire life. Not knowing if it's ever going to happen, but she goes through the whole process, and they bring her in and they go through the whole thing, and it's been years, and she's, living her life, and all of a sudden the call comes through. The predator is changing and adapting in a way that they don't know what it means, and they need her expertise. It's definitely terrifying. It's definitely surreal, but at the same time, it ignites something inside of her. It's completing something inside of her that, this is the epitome of what she studies. This is something completely different than everything here on Earth, and that is very exciting for her, but she's running for her life. At one point, she's chasing to capture this predator and wanting to study it, wanting to see it, wanting to just, even if no one ever sees her research, it's just for her. She wants to be up close, communicate, talk with it, touch it, see it. But, at the same time, her life is in danger, and she's got to run for her life. The first time that I actually got to see the entire predator fully put together with the mouth and then everything's moving was on set. We were filming something, and then they brought the cast into this other room just to see. And it was wild. I had no idea how alive and real. It's identifiable in a human way as well. I mean, it's got arms and legs, it's got a head, so there's something very familiar about it, but at the same time, it's like nothing we've ever seen before. You think that you know an opponent. You go up against another human, you know what their capabilities are. And you look at this predator, and it's got arms and legs and the head, and it seems like it would be human-like, but of course it's not, and its strengths and abilities are so far beyond anything that we could even think about. And I think that's what makes it so terrifying, is that it's so familiar, yet we have no idea how to deal with it and how to survive it. Being on this set, unless you're here, it's hard to grasp the scale of these things and how real everything is. You go into the spaceship is real, and the Ark is real, and we actually built an entire forest. I mean, you walk in, and it's not just a small little patch. I mean, we built a forest, we built a swamp, and you're here, and they're real trees. It's like they built a cliff, and it's inside, and we're here doing it, and you're sitting in the Predator spaceship captain's chair, and it's massive, and those things really help to ground you to the reality of the story you're telling.
The only thing between us and them are these guys. McKenna, Army Ranger sniper and certified badass.
Do I get a cookie now?
Nebraska, the muscle.
You just killed somebody. Sorry, dumb question. That was a dumb question.
Coyle, the mouth.
Oh.
Lynch, Nettles, Baxley, crazy, crazier, craziest.
It's called the Predator. It hunts people for sport.
Relax. We're the good guys.
Oh, that's cute.
How like her.
This is the crew.
You want to kill him? Oh, yeah.
That's gonna save our asses.
Come and get us.
I am actually a very big fan of the Predator franchise. I'm one of those people who knows the entire canon, the Alien vs. Predator movies a little more intimately than most people, I would say, do. But there's so I am a legitimate fan of the series. The humor for him is armor, and he thinks that it's funny because I don't think he's really fooling anybody. Everybody in the group, you know, he belongs to this group of gentlemen that go to group therapy to overcome PTSD, to overcome depression, to overcome the trauma that they went through during war. And his is actually quite an obvious a projection or behavior trait that people do is, oh, I'll laugh it off, or I'm going to participate in gallows humor. It's the only way I'm going to make it through my day is by telling dirty jokes. And by the way, sophomoric jokes, jokes that I think he wants to fill a room with jocularity so that it lifts up his mood. And it's very transparent. It's very transparent that he's hiding something else.
There is a sense of numerous locations. There's a sense of the film being, for lack of a better word, wide, and that's why I employ the word epic. It has a sense that the movie's important, and there's a thing happening on our world, and there's a thing happening in another world, and they're coinciding and they're intersecting, and there's people with lofty feelings about you know, what is manhood and what does it feel like to feel needed or wanted. There's these great kind of overarching emotional themes that are taking place in the piece, as well as you read the script, it feels very freight train. It doesn't stop. It's a movie like this, when I come on set every day, when you have this experience, then you go see a movie, you don't dare get up until all the credits are done. Because you're looking at all of the hard work that all of those hundreds of names that are scrolling up the screen did. This swamp and the interior, talk about a labyrinth. There's Stargazer itself. It's its own place. You could live there. You could live on the stage. It's really impressive. It was so impressive. I'm not a soldier, so I would not think to attack something like that. I wouldn't ever think I'm gonna move forward and attack a creature that looks like that. It's so impressive. It's so large and fearsome. I was really impressed and got a little, like the hair stood up on the back of my neck. Shane's relentless pursuit of finding the most truthful thing we can do in a moment and what that opens up. He's also very facile because he still allows you to go, all right, I'll let you do that bit. I'll give you a bit, but how about we try to find a way? Let's put some effort into anchoring it into the truth. So we're not stopping the movie for a joke and then continuing. And I think that's part of what makes him special. It's gonna be a very, very exciting roller coaster ride because there's a lot of new elements being thrown at you along the way, and they're giving the audience enough credit.
My part is like a cool part because I get to do some pretty cool stuff, like I get to drive the alien spaceship, I get to wear the Predator mask, I get to have a Predator wrist gauntlet, and that's pretty cool, so I was like really excited to do it. And also there's also like Predator hybrids in this movie as well, and like there's big upgrade Predator, and then there's also these other cool Predators. It's like so much you can take and put it in one movie. He's a kid with autism, and he goes to school, he likes chess, and he gets bullied, but he's really smart. And he likes to make things, and he likes to figure out puzzles, and he has his basement that he likes to hang out in a lot, and one day he gets sucked into this big adventure. I hang out with the ladies a lot on set and off set, and so we're like best buds. So they're cool characters. It was awesome. My favorite part about the ship is like the whole control section with like these bars of controls right there, and then there would be like huge controls right there with a giant chair. I mean, for any chair is big for me, but for like these huge muscular men, like they're small on it too. It's a huge chair. What I like about it is it's so tall and it has big muscles and it has a very scary face, and it has like all these cool tools, like a shoulder laser cannon thing and all these other cool things, like its invisibility cloak. So he has some pretty cool things. When I saw the Predator for the first time, I was like, holy cow, he's just like I imagined him to be. He's like tall, big, scary looking. So anyways, I walked up to him and I gave him a fist bump.
星光好选择，立喆接下来带大家来到这一间办公室，但其实爱看电影的你一定对这个 logo 不陌生，这里就是威视电影的办公室哦。不过其实我们今天是要来看他们即将要推出的新片《蓝色项圈》，可以抢先看哦。《蓝色项圈》其实是一部小说翻拍的作品，它本身是一个惊悚悬疑的剧本，但是听说这部电影拍的氛围非常诡异，非常应景农历7月，感觉里面好像有阿飘哎，到底有没有呢？让我们一起来抢先看看。
欢迎来到爱丽舍救我！大家好，我是叶群，今天刚转学过来。
下一代是我们的希望，只有在竞争激烈的环境中，才能激发他的上进心。
在这里，分数才是一切。
如果你的烂成绩在他举办被竞价，你说不定会被杀掉。
信不信有办法被按回家？只要脖子踏过这个麻绳，就会获得重生，成绩也会突飞猛进。我以后的成绩都会这么好哦。你把我逼死了！你以为只有你才知道真相吗？有本事就打败我！小军，我不相信。超越自我，成为第一步，决定决心，奋力前进。你想象力太丰富了，这不是好事。
看完蓝色项圈了，这气氛真的好像恐怖片哦。虽然没有看到阿飘，也没有故意吓人砰突然冒出来的音效，但是全片氛围跟拍摄手法走的都是惊悚悬疑鬼片风格，尤其结局蛮让人留下无限想象的哦。听说电影原本的结局只有拍到学生的画面而已，但最后多留一笔，也就是校长甜妞的诡异桥段，是亿万监制叶如芬看完电影初剪之后要加上去的。这一段加的漂亮，因为让大家多了很多种解读的空间。像我个人就认为，如果以正面的解读而言，这根本是《与神同行》的前传。甜妞所饰演的校长很可能是阴间使者训练所的所长哦，他需要优秀的阴间律师来替贵人打官司。或者如果来一点负面的解读，这部片是另类的《倩女幽魂》现代版，整座学校都是兰若寺的概念。不过如果再想下去就要爆雷了，所以大家去看完电影之后，一定能秒懂我在说什么。我的解读也绝对会让你很有同感。
我最近常常在半夜的时候听到有哭声该不会是在社里读书的鬼学长吧？
那么可怕？
大家最近都有跟自己的好麻吉联系吗？接下来要介绍的这部是有闺蜜就必看的电影，韩国影史上最卖座喜剧 No.1 的电影就是这一部《阳光姐妹淘》。故事讲述高中时期的七公主在毕业之后各奔东西，相隔25年之后再相遇，展开一段寻找旧友任务。那么电影里面的演员个个都大有来头哦，像是 BigBang 成员太阳的老婆闵孝琳，还有《失速列车》里首位上车的活尸沈恩静，人气夯剧《卫生》的女主角江素拉等等。而7个闺蜜还组成了一支叫做 Sunny 的团体，就好像是真正的少女团体一样。刚好最近日本也宣布要重新翻拍这部当年创下票房纪录的经典电影。再次看到日本版本之前，当然一定要看到韩国的原创版。独家预告首播就在星光好选择。
얘기 안 했나? 엄마 예전에 칠공주였다고.
새 벌교 고등학교에서 전학을 와본 임남이라고 합니다. 잘 부탁드립니다.
빙글빙글 남이? 나 추나야. 하추나. 반갑다 남이. 그래 반갑다. 저 황진이. 국문과 교수집 딸내미인데. 씨부레. 입만 열면 육지거리야.
서치과집 무남동녀. 금이야옥이야 사고목이. 다국발만 안 세우면 딱 문학소년들 말이지.
나 스쿨에 다녀야 되거든. 일부입니다. 나 이상해.
아까 우리 반에 예쁜 애 봤지? 뭘 꼬라. 걔까지 해서 우리 멤버야 멤버.
어이! 소녀시대! 뒤에 아이는 뭐냐? 야 오줌 쌀라 그런다 야.
빙이라고 들어봤냐? 귀신이 들렸단 얘기지.
이런 씨부라! 김다미를 우리 멤버로 영입하는데 동의합니까? 우리 중에 한 명 건드리는 건 우리 전체를 건드리는 거야.
보고 싶다 써니. 우리 다시 만날 수 있을까?
임남이. 써니 꼭 한번 보고 싶어.
욕쟁이 지니? 우리 땐 고상하게 놀았잖아요.
미친년. 책 읽고 클래식 듣고.
哪一部泰国片的口碑竟然可以超越《模范生》呢？千万不要吓一跳哦，是一部动画片。台湾首度引进的泰国动画《暹罗绝九神战甲》，今年在泰国当地创下亿万票房，以信念创造奇迹作为主题，让主角以泰拳从魔族来拯救人类。还有眼尖的影迷觉得动画里面的男主角蛮像彭于晏的耶，以及电影里面有好多场景其實就在現實生活當中。來看看你的眼力尖不尖？
เจ้าพวกมนุษย์จงฟังข้าให้ดีมนุษย์จะต้องตกเป็นทาสของยักษ์นี่คือสิ่งที่ใครก็เปลี่ยนแปลงไม่ได้
หน้าที่ของเองคือการฝึกเองต้องฝึกใจให้สุขุมเยือกเย็นมีไหวพริบและปัญญา
เจ้าหญิงน้อยข้าองค์ชายวรรณราวาตาที่3รัชทายาทแห่งราชวงศ์พายามันว่าวาตะหรือไอ้จอก็ได้ส่วนข้าอสูรสีชาติไอ้ป้อมหรือไอ้ชาติหรือไอ้ดาบูดหรือไอ้ชื่อออนโอ้ชื่อบ้าน
ข้าชื่อเสี่ยวหลานบุตรีของเจ้าสลัดอากาศแห่งน่านฟ้าทั้ง7น
ำศาสตราวุธไปยังคุกใต้ดินมอบให้กับพระราชโอรสเพื่อใช้กอบกู้รามเทพนคร
ข้าต้องทำภารกิจนี้ให้สำเร็จเอ็งรู้จักไอ้แท่งเหล็กนั้นด้วยเหรอมันคืออาวุธวิเศษที่ตีขึ้นจากเหล็กไหลเพื่อใช้ประสานกับมวยไทยจนเกิดเป็นอานุภาพหรือประมาทข้าจะไปรามเทพนครเพื่อยุติเรื่องราวทั้งหมดลงทุกคนยืนไว้ให้ดี
จงใช้ชีวิตเจ้าและเพื่อนๆบวงสรวงแก่ข้าเสียเถิดชีวิตจะอ่อนล้าความจะช้ำก็ยังละทางขอมือข้าไว้แล้วสิ่งที่รู้เมื่ออยู่ตามหาจะมีจงมอบชีวิตเจ้ามา
มือเท้าเข่าศอกประสานหนึ่งดวงจิตแรงกล้ากำเนิดก้าวศาสตราสยบฟ้าสะเทือนปัตตภี
ก่อนชีวิตจะอ่อนล้า
一样 也是满满的致敬元素。前阵子上演的动画片《犬之岛》要来送大家限量公仔喽！只要分享星光好选择节目，就有机会拿到这个可以变换 pose 的限量犬之岛公仔。详情请搜寻脸书哦。如果有什么意见，或者是想要点播哪部电影的影评，都欢迎留言告诉立喆哦。我们下礼拜一样要带大家直击大咖云集的多伦多影展现场，全球影坛的年度最大盛事之一，就在星光好选择。我们下礼拜不见不散。